divine abundance. You are about to receive divine inheritance. I'm hearing like wire transfer coming through, abundance. I'm seeing a lot of 7 and 4s, so that could be signs for you. It's like you completed a big cycle and the universe had like a spiritual trust fund. Everything that you've been owed is going to be given back to you with the Justice card. You could also be seeing a lot of 11s and 8s. You're unstoppable. You are entering your come up season. And I feel like people don't use the term come up anymore. But back in my day, when you came up on something, it felt like a stroke of luck. Like you found a $20 bill, in the line to the bathroom at the fair. And you were like, wow, this is great. Now I can go get some elephant ears. Excuse my dog rattling in the cage. But I feel like that's your energy too, is you kind of being a little bit unsettled, feeling a little bit unstable. There's been a lot of uncertainty in your life. Like you have been in training season, training mode. And you're like, Coach, tap me in. I'm ready. And Coach is like, no. And because you defied me, like go do like 10 laps around the court or something like that. Like it has felt impossible. You finish one task and then a million other tasks come up on your plate. And I feel like you're the type of person where you're in between type A and type B. You're kind of type C. I feel like you're learning boundaries with yourself. You don't want to burn yourself out anymore, but you are becoming so unstoppable because you've been standing in your power, calling back your power. You could have been manifesting this new season, this new chapter. And Spirit is saying, you don't need permission. The new chapter is here. Your transformation is here right now. I'm seeing that you are ready to enter the race. You are ready to start playing the game. I'm channeling the song Successful by Ariana Grande, where she's like, all my girls are successful. If you haven't heard that song, go hear it. I'm also seeing that you're going to have people, like your energy is so supercharged. You're so, this new season that you're entering, this new chapter, you are so magnetic that there are people from your past that are going to be entering your energy. Your phone's about to get blown up. That's all I'm going to say. I keep hearing wire transfer, something that was owed to you. There's a struggle block that is being lifted. There's a money block that is being lifted. There's a breakthrough moment. And I feel like you've been having epiphanies. And so all these little epiphanies, it's 11:22 right now, so magical, but all these epiphanies are coming together and you're forging your path and you're walking the walk and talking the talk is what I'm hearing. It's like before things weren't matching up, even though you were putting in the effort, and that struggle block is just being lifted away. It's being burnt away. You are rising. You could be seeing red birds, cardinals, phoenix energy rising from the ashes. That's what you're giving right now. Spirit is saying something big is coming. And after today, whenever this message finds you, whether you're watching it on live or a replay of it, this message will find you when it needs to find you, when you are about to enter your come up season. You will be so different after watching this video. After today, you are becoming unstoppable, supercharged, and I'm hearing untransferable. Yeah, like your energy is no longer up to be transferred to others. That's part of you calling back your power. Wow, let's take a breather. Let's take a moment because, whoa, that was a lot of energy. I feel it opening up your heart space too. So you could have released a connection. You could have gone through a heartbreak that really broke you, but it cracked you open. And you thought that was breaking you, but really there was a new you under there waiting to emerge. Okay. Spirit is literally saying, this is the peace. This is the calm after the storm. Get ready, because after this, there's going to be this fire under your butt. And like, maybe you could be working out more. Working out, like physical exercise, is manifesting as well. I hear eruptions. So when it rains, it pours. And what is coming for you next is meant to stay for a long time, because it's like you're regaining this spark. There's something you've been working towards. There's something I'm hearing, turning a new leaf, illumination. There's something that you've been working, confirmation verb. There's something you've been working towards that you felt you lost your spark, or every time you felt like the momentum was starting to build for you, you would kind of just get like life would just slap you down. And what your higher self is letting you know, the lesson that you have conquered, what you have learned, and what you're taking into this new era that is triggering this unstoppable supercharged energy you're giving off, is not only your outer glow, it's your inner glow, because you are no longer letting fear and doubt stop you. That's why you're becoming unstoppable, because you've learned that fear has stopped you before. Fear of the unknown, uncertainty. I'm also seeing a fear of judgment, a fear of others' opinions. Why do I feel like you're sensitive, but maybe you don't come off as sensitive? Like there's something about you protecting your energy and cloaking your energy and almost like trying to fit in. I'm getting that meme of Homer Simpson when he's like going into the bushes and he's just like filling up that like he's just disappearing into the bushes. And Spirit's like, yeah, the magician, you're no longer here to hide. You're about to become visible AF. So, and Spirit is saying you don't need another course, you don't need another reading, you don't need, no, like you have everything you need. If anything, this is just confirming what you've already been feeling and sensing, because I'm also getting that for this collective, you're highly sensitive right now. There's something about the energy where maybe you have certain gifts that are reawakening, but I'm also hearing like there's something about spiritual growth that is so aligned with your purpose. What you're working on right now maybe doesn't feel like a lot, or I feel like you opted out. There was something that was like killing your soul. Yeah, there was something, and I'm losing my breath. There's something that just made you like not want to participate in the 3D realm. And Spirit's like your trust in the 3D, your trust and your joyfulness, your playfulness, your innocence is coming back. You've done a lot of inner child healing. A lot of shadows have been coming up, and it has not been easy, because shadow work is not easy. It always triggers these deep core wounds that are keeping us stuck, that are keeping us invisible. And Spirit's like, you did not come here. You did not get here just to get here. And what got you here won't get you there. So you best believe that there will still be challenges. However, my goodness, I'm hearing you're gonna, yeah, the 8 of Cups, you walked. Let's talk about this, because I feel like whatever you released and whoever released themselves from your life, even though you walked into uncertainty, that was the lesson. Why am I getting 27, 25, 26, like late 20s could have been a big lesson time for you, where you could be approaching that, or you could have been even saying like, I didn't think I would make it even this far in my life, because there's this energy of young you not having faith, young you maybe even being lost, where you were let down by religion, or like there's also something about a family structure that you feel like, because you spent so much time healing, because you spent so much time trying to even figure out like what is healthy, what isn't healthy for you, what is acceptable, what is aligned, and figuring out what those patterns are and breaking out of it, because you spent so much time doing that. And even though you're proud of yourself and your progress, there's a part of you that still is shedding that and is kind of feeling regretful, like, why didn't you get this sooner? And Spirit is saying that's part of the lesson, that's part of your shadow work. You need to release the shame and guilt, because you're moving out of survival, and moving out of survival means forgiving what you had to do to survive when you were in survival mode. And as you're thriving, those thoughts, that guilt, that shame is no longer going to help you thrive, right? And there's a fresh perspective coming in for you. You're being removed. And I feel like either you're being removed like by your own, you walk away into the uncertainty, right? Or you're literally like, there's something about you being removed from an environment, or you burning a bridge. Your cutoff game is strong. I'm seeing scissors, but I'm also seeing a bridge. I'm seeing there was connections that you decided to release or walk away from, or just set really strong boundaries with. And because you did that, because you were able to release, it opened up a portal, and it also opened you up to healing that only you could do. You're no longer skipping the self-work and the healing, even if it's hard, even if it takes you some time. It feels like that's what the fresh perspective is. And I feel like there were people who were definitely against you, who definitely did not, who underestimated you. I'm seeing that you were kind of an underdog. Some people are even wondering, like, why are you still doing what you're doing? And it's because you stopped doing things for certain reasons. You stopped doing things to people please. You stopped doing things to, for money, for egotistical issues or issues. Maybe you dealt with somebody who had egotistical issues. Maybe you were around a narcissist, but what, or even like, why am I getting like a psychopath kind of energy? Like you dealt with some heavy energies. Okay, you paid your dues. You paid, and now you're able to recognize it so quick that you're like, actually, no. You never cared about me. So how am I going to care about you? There's something about your energy keeping the peace, the Four of Swords. This is the rest. This is the calm. I'm telling you, your phone is about to get blown up. You're about to have a bunch of really important and significant opportunities where your light is being showcased. And it feels like there were people that did discount you, and you're about to shut them up with your energy, with your success, with your movement. Okay? There were people who didn't notice your gifts, or they noticed your gifts so much that they tried to talk bad on your name, that they tried to bring you down. They tried to keep you at a certain level. And you stop people pleasing those people. You stop trying to fit in. You stop trying to beg to be accepted, to be included. There's something about you feeling like you were never included in certain things, and that was really hurtful for you. And I'm hearing that on the opposite end, your name is being spoken of, not just in these negative spaces, but in very positive spaces as well. I'm hearing that your name is being spoken of in rooms where they want what you got. And you got it going on. I'll tell you that much. They want what you got. Because only you can give the love, the gifts, the energy. Only you can show up in the way that you know how. So it's going to feel like, why am I getting like wolves and sheep or like ants? It's almost like, you know how ants like have this very systematic way of living and they each have a job and like that's just it? You broke out of that. You were like, you know what? This is not the life I wanted. You had that aha moment of this can't be my life. I can't continue this way. You decided, wow, you decided that you were going to finally align with what your soul has been calling you to do. You decided to break free. And there's karma, there's weight that has just been lifted off your shoulders. I'm just you letting go of the fear. You stop doubting yourself. You stop letting the fear stop you. And you're about to be blessed. You are so blessed already. Can we get more information on this? What else is coming in this next season of your life? I'm getting 3 to 6 months. I'm getting undeniable. Something about your energy, the lovers and the Fool. A new beginning is coming through for you. Big phases, right? You took a risk on yourself. And with the Lovers card, this is Gemini energy. There's still some decisions to be made. There's going to be really important decisions for you, because I feel like for this collective, you're calling in a aligned soul family, but as you're rising, the karmic energy around you is being challenged to rise. And there are certain people that are going to be calling you. They're going to be wanting your friendship again. They're going to be wanting your attention. I'm hearing hot stuff. I'm hearing it like there's something about, I was going to say the word, but I can't because, YouTube and TikTok rules. But yeah, I'm hearing that you are going to be on everybody's priority list. You're going to go from being unnoticed, not invited, underdog, to everybody barking up at your door. Someone could be manifesting a pet or a spirit animal guide that could be revealing themselves to you soon. And with the barking up energy, I'm also seeing that Christmas time is going to be significant. And what you're attracting in, it's like you've been wanting loyalty. You have been wanting reciprocal energies. And you're going to get that because you're an overgiver. You love deeply. You go deep. And it feels like the energy that you grew up with and the energy that was around you, even when it came to like jobs, it was very surface level. And what you illuminated was so deep that it caused chaos, it caused disruption, it caused people to think for themselves. You inspire people, but as soon as you inspire them, they leave your lives. And it's like you don't even get credit for the work that you do, and you get removed. I just keep hearing that you're about to be removed, displaced, but not in a negative sense. You've grown so much in where you are right now that you have outgrown your environment. You've outgrown your circle. You've outgrown your income limits. You've outgrown your limitations. And so the removal energy is you're going to be placed exactly where you're meant to be in this next phase. So get ready to move. Get ready to change. Get ready to meet new people. Get ready to put on your running shoes. It's time to go outside. No more hermit mode. Okay, no more hermit mode because you're about to be invited places. You're about to show up in people's lives, and people are going to come into your life in a way that feels aligned, not in an intense way. Because I feel like you dealt with really intense connections in the past that required too much of you, that were draining you. And Spirit is saying you're so much more aware of these red flags that even though you may be tested and triggered, that's not going to stop the challenges are still going to come. It's going to be easier for you to move through these obstacles. I'm hearing new operating systems, system reboot. Because you have all these new tools, something about heartbreak is coming through too. Like there's several things that broke your heart. There's a big family wound, betrayal. There's also snakes. You could be dreaming with snakes or dinosaurs, like reptiles, things like that. You could be dreaming with childhood homes or homes that felt, that remind you of your childhood. Very vivid dreams. You're doing a lot of shadow work, and your higher self is sending you messages through your dreams as well. Interesting because dinosaurs represent old programming, old world ways of thinking, right? And you're being noticed in this new way. So, and also like there's something uncontained about your energy. You can no longer stay contained is what I'm hearing. You may have dreams where you're breaking out of like prison or breaking out of hostile situations. Something like that is coming through, not for everyone, but for a lot of you. I'm also getting the colors orange and pink. You could be doing a lot of solar plexus and heart chakra healing. Confirmation verb, oh my goodness. Your gifts are also heightening. You're getting more downloads and more clear downloads. I feel like in the past you were kind of bombarded and you learned a lot of lessons about that, about being able to trust your intuition and what your intuition is actually telling you. And that is being leveled up as well. Heavy on the come up, just heavy on the come up. The stroke of luck that you're about to have. I'm hearing permanence. There's something about permanence coming through. I want to grab a few more messages. The Justice card came out again. This is just your energy. This is just the season that you are in right now. It just is what it is. Karma is being lifted. I also feel like you've gained a sense of clarity and presence where you no longer feel like you have to pick sides. You are enough just being yourself. Why do I feel like there was a connection or even a friendship or, all of the above that really tested you and made you feel like you had to pick a side, but you were never the option. You were never the side. And if you were, it would completely disrupt things. There was somebody who used like emotional manipulation against you. There was somebody that would cry crocodile tears or would get defensive when you received attention or you just told yourself something about your light really bothering somebody and them trying to dim it. And Spirit is saying you're getting your justice for that. There's somebody who feels really guilty and regretful on how they treated you. There's multiple people in your life that feel that way. And this next season is more about you honoring those connections, because you don't have to, your higher self is saying you don't have to overgive or over-explain yourself. The closure that you're receiving is long-term. It's here to stay. It's healing. It's nourishing you because you're giving it to yourself. You're no longer chasing people down to have conversations, to have realizations. There's a big codependency wound. There's a big scene wound coming through for you. I kind of want to grab a message from your higher self and see. Look, wasn't I saying that we were seeing like orange colors? And we have blue calcite and onyx. You could be being drawn to working with crystals. I love blue calcite because it talks about having like good memory, like being able to, why do I feel like there was parts of your life that you don't remember or are painful, but now you're so sure. Now your stability, your self-confidence, your self-mastery, your inner peace, it's so stable and strong that nobody can come here and gaslight you anymore. I'm hearing no more gaslighting. Also, your energy is very soothing. I also feel like you are really good at putting yourself in other people's shoes. You're very empathic, and because your gifts, you have so many gifts, so many psychic gifts. Sometimes you get downloads and intuitions about things, and people are surprised on how much you're able to connect with them or how much you're able to know. And some people would get defensive about it or would try to gaslight you and be like, no, that's not how I'm feeling, or that's not true. But because it was such a heavy truth, itching. My ears itchy. That's because you revealed such a heavy truth, such a deep truth. They weren't ready to face the truth. That's why they retaliated against you. That's why they tried to, like, I'm hearing crucify your energy or burn your name or like lie on your name. It's like I would hear them coming to you for something and you setting a boundary or you revealing a truth about how they're feeling and trying to work through something. And instead of them accepting that and having open dialogue, they would go behind your back and talk to other people about you, whether it was people you knew or not. There's secret betrayals. The mask has been removed, and what you've seen, what you've heard, you can unsee it. And I feel like your intuition was so good at picking up on other people's negativity towards you, and almost like where others would be like, oh, you're crazy. And it's like, no, I know something is here. But when you're intuitive, you learn the hard way that if you don't trust your intuition, if you don't trust yourself and what you're getting, you're going to be stuck in these situations that are draining, that are unhealthy, that are unhappy, right? That are bringing you down. And I feel like you learned a lot of that these past, I'm getting 10 years. I don't know why I'm getting a huge cycle closing out, 10-year cycle closing out for you, maybe even 11-year cycle. What's your higher self want to tell you? Fear. Yep, this is what you're stopping. You're no longer expecting the worst. You're no longer feeling like a failure. Why do I feel like you felt like a failure? Oh my God, I want to hug you. That's so sad. Why are you... There's also this perfectionism that you're shaking off. You're learning that you don't have to be perfect because being perfect is keeping you stuck. It's keeping you not even starting things, or it's keeping you starting other things all at once and it's overwhelming you. Do you ever feel like you are putting in so much effort and not getting any results? It's because you're not focusing. It's because you are too focused on being perfect. You're taking too much time on things and not prioritizing things properly. There's something about you learning to prioritize yourself. And like this new routine and these new habits and tools are bringing in that wire transfer, your spiritual inheritance, your abundance. Wasting time on negative thoughts. Did you used to ruminate a lot? Same, guilty. I didn't even know what the word ruminating was until somebody like told me when I was like in my early 20s. It took me that long to realize what ruminating was. And if you don't know, ruminating is when you overthink on negative thoughts and you start telling yourself stories that are not true. right? You stay stuck on this one experience or this one thing that somebody said, and you start lying to yourself. You ruminate on it. It keeps you sad. It's something that you bring up. You constantly have to relive this negative experience that may not even be true, that you may have spiraled and blown out of proportion. Ruminating thoughts. Watch out for those. You're breaking out of that fear. Your higher self is saying if it's coming up, it's because of your awareness. I'm also seeing someone getting up late at night, possibly somebody being like, oh, you're restless. Maybe you have been getting up during the witching hours, like 3 to 4 a.m. and going back to sleep, or maybe you're trying to set up a new routine where you get up earlier. And Spirit is saying the fears that come up when you get up at these times is actually meant to be brought up to your awareness. So a good exercise that you can do is write down those fears, clarify what lies you're telling yourself in those fears, and change that to align truths and affirming, anchoring in affirmations. If you guys want an example, let me know in the comments, and I can maybe put one out for you guys, because I do this a lot. Whenever I feel like fears or worries, if you're an overthinker, an overanalyzer, if you have anxiety, if you deal with depressive thoughts, especially in the mornings, it's a really good way to clear out. That's a good journaling exercise, right? Because sometimes we feel like clouded, like things are following us. And really it's about rewriting those things and clarifying and making sure that you are taking action steps towards fixing those things, instead of the fear is going to keep you stuck. The fear is going to keep you behind. And the fear is a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because if you're stuck and you're not taking action, but you're constantly worrying about something, then that thing is going to come true because you have not taken any action. You stayed in the fear and you've manifested it, right? And it's interesting because yes, thoughts manifest your reality, but what manifests your thoughts? Your core beliefs, right? That's deeper spiritual work that I do in my spiritual integration packages. And this month I'm doing a free coaching call where we break down your core beliefs and I give you tools to help you accelerate your manifestations and move through these wounds, do the shadow work, and you're not doing it alone. And that package is great because in under a month, you get so much insight about your past life. I help you connect in with your higher self, remove blocks. I teach you, the daily practices that you need to stay on your spiritual path and all those things. So yeah, the spiritual integration package, amazing. I still have a few spots left. Everything is linked if you want it. It's also on my website on SoledadTarot.com, and it's also the way that you can get on the list. If you're watching this live, I am going to be doing personal readings after this collective reading. And they do start at $11. They go up to $25 for 2 questions. And I am going to start taking those. So if you have purchased, let me know in the comments, whether you're on YouTube or TikTok. And we're going to start building that list because it's coming through. I feel like the time is coming. Okay, so here's some final messages from your higher self. Your higher self is screaming at you right now. And if you are aware that you're spiritually ascending, which we all are, I want to do a video on myths about spirituality, and that's one of the biggest ones. 1, everybody is psychic. Maybe that's controversial, but 2, everybody is here to ascend, and everybody's soul mission is the same. And if you guys want me to break that down, leave me a comment. Like this video, share it, spread the love, and I'll come back and we'll do a whole video breakdown, even a live on that. Maybe next live you guys can come in with some questions. Okay, so we have retreat, time spent alone, reflection on past and current situations. That's the energy you're in right now, believe it or not. Why am I getting vacation? Unexpected invitation. There's something coming in that you're not expecting, a big blessing. But that's next 3 to 6 months, I would say. For right now, you're breaking out of hermit mode. You're clearing away your karma. Justice is coming in for you. You're cashing out on that spiritual inheritance, all that is owed to you. I'm hearing spiritual trust fund. Okay, you've been manifesting it. So this is like your good karma finally paying off. Think of this time as a retreat time. If you are releasing, if people are walking away, revealing their true mass, take this time alone of isolation that's about to clear out. So take whatever, hours you have left, and reflect, especially towards the end of your day, because then you can really count in what triggered you, what came up. And if you want reflection questions, the last live I did on Monday, we did shadow work reflection questions. Then we have creativity. Have fun, express yourself in new ways. This is really significant, and this is something that I teach in my spiritual integration packages, is that a lot of us have trouble getting into a creative energy. And it's like this collective, I feel like you know that you're creative. You know that you have gifts. But there's something about not being able to focus that's coming through again, feeling like you have too many things. And even though that's a superpower, and you're more well-rounded and learning to organize your gifts and yourself, there's something about you needing to let out energy before you can use creativity. That's root chakra energy. Do some root chakra clearing if you want. Before you can relax and get into the flow and integrate that creative energy into your work, right? Because I feel like for this collective, you want to learn how to use your creativity in a productive way. You can't just go from like being anxious and fearful to relaxed and focused, right? You could have ADHD or ADD. You could have anxious thoughts. You could be a ruminator like I used to be, and sometimes still am. So what you need to do is, before you even do any breathing, any breath work, is to let out that energy, because anxiety and fear, all of that is energy. So do something, even if it's for 10 minutes or 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long commitment of time to shake off that energy. I recommend a physical activity, but for some of you, I'm getting that music could be significant. So doing something for fun. I remember watching a Beatles documentary where they would play like a little bit in the beginning and it would be awful. Everything was off key, but they were having fun. And that's how they would get into their creative spirit, right? They'd be like, well, I'm going to play the worst that I can right now, but I'm going to do it for fun. It's like you're calling in that spirit. And that's a good exercise that you can do. This is like a general collective reading. If you want more broad thing, that's why I have my spiritual integration package, to give you more specific advice. But in general, that's a good tip for you if you haven't tried that. And once you give yourself those 5-10 minutes, sometimes even 3 minutes, right? Where you dance like while nobody's looking, sing your little heart out, play the piano, go on a walk, dance in the rain, draw scribbles if you need to, right? Do a brain dump. What else could we, anything that you feel that you want to do. Once you do that, then you can start breathing. Then you can do your meditations, your affirmations, your EFTs. Then you can get into a more relaxed mode. Then you can start focusing. There's something about needing to move through the energy, and it's not about ignoring it or trying to be blank. It's about being mindful and being able to move, noticing and holding space for those things. And that's how you'll move through it. All right, my loves, that is the collective portion. If you would like a personal reading, that is what we're going to start doing now. So if you did purchase a personal reading, please let me know. We're going to start taking those. They do start at $11. And what was I going to say? Yeah, they go up to $25. You can pay through Cash App or PayPal, Apple Pay. It's all linked in my bio or on my website, SoledadTarot.com. Just let me know, and my list is open. Hello, guys. Let me go through the comments. Let's see. Ooh, the Justice card keeps wanting to pop out. I'm telling you, your comeback, your justice is here, my love. Your justice is here. You're in karmic retribution. All right. I'm actually on Do Not Disturb, so let me get off that so I can get notifications. There we go. Oh. Perfect. So let's see. That was a good collective reading. What did you guys think of it? Let me know what resonated the most with you. Thank you for all the likes and the shares and the comments. I appreciate you guys. I saw we have a birthday in, so happy birthday to you, my love. Hi, Vanessa. Okay. Let's see here. Actually, we just sold a spiritual integration package, which is so cool. So we have even less spots. I think there's 2 left this month. So if that called out to you, this is your sign. All right. And if anybody paid through Cash App, please let me know because I don't get notified for that. But I'm not seeing anything through Stripe or PayPal for now. Let's check. Let's double check here. I also feel like I fixed the lighting on YouTube. Like, thank God, right? Not Moldavite at the bottom of the deck. Moldavite is, I have such a funny story because I had a Moldavite ring. It was like huge and it was so expensive. And then I lost it. But I lost it in my house. So unless, I don't know, something came in here and took it. Sometimes we get lizards. Unless the lizards took it back to the yard. It's somewhere in here. But Moldavite is a stone that will change your life. It will sniff out all of the rats. So, yeah. Hello, Kim. Hi, welcome, you guys. Okay. And remember, the list is open. And if you missed the collective part and you are on YouTube or on TikTok, you can go to my YouTube page and it will be there. There'll be a full replay. So, yeah. Okay. Let's check PayPal. Something else that I've been feeling in the collective is like, remember how everybody was obsessed with like New Earth energy? Girl, New Earth is now. No, we're not doing free cards. I never really do free cards. I'm not gonna lie. So not the right page, my love. Not the right page. But there's tons of other readers that do. Just not me. It's just not. Let's see. Okay, yeah. But the list is open, you guys. I'm gonna bless the cards that we used. In the meantime, I'll give you guys a few more minutes, and if nobody gets a reading, then that's okay. We'll log off and we'll be back on Friday. We do these collective and personal readings from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes we'll sprinkle in like a surprise one during the week. So yeah. And I tried to come in at like 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, but sometimes I'm a little late. Like today, I came in at like almost 11:30. On Monday, I came in at like 12, but I think it's mostly that I have been setting up for YouTube and figuring out the lighting, and that's taking me the longest. Like I could be ready at 10, but then I'm here like figuring out and adjusting everything. But I feel like we're getting it to a really good place now. All right. Oh, I don't know. I didn't really use this deck, did I? These are the decks I used. All right. Just a little clearing. Sound healing. I love sound healing. It's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, I didn't check Cash App, but nobody's commenting, so I'm assuming that we don't have anybody on there. Okay. I also need a new lighter. Definitely need to go do that. Because all my lighters are running out. Let me actually not do this on camera. Because sometimes my lives will get restricted because of this, and I don't want that. Damn it. I might have to go pick up some movers. to bless and protect these cards, for my intention is to use them for good only. I declare only good shall come from their use, and all negativity shall be turned away. Thank you, Spirit, for protecting my energies, the energies of those that I read, moving any negative energies that may have latched on. This is called smudging, by the way. It's when you use smoke to clear out or cleanse an object. So you can do this with crystals, cards, anything that you really wanted to cleanse. It's an ancient Native American technique. There we go. And on YouTube you can't see it, but my cards are down here. Alright, you guys. I feel like that's it. Let me double check. Nope. I'll be right back. Hold on. We're still good on YouTube. One second, sorry guys. Let's see. I don't know why this is just taking forever. I'm not seeing anything here. Let's see. I don't know why. It's because I got a new phone, so that's why. But let me go back on here. All right, you guys, I'm going to log off for now. I will see you guys on Friday for Friday's collective. And if anybody would like a reading then, you can start getting on the list now. But that's that on that. Have a good day. Have a beautiful, blessed rest of your week. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye. Bye, YouTube. Appreciate you guys. I see you.